I didn't react when she said it. He never contributed anything. My wife's voice was calm. Controlled. Practiced. Like she had repeated that line enough times that it no longer felt like a lie. I kept my eyes on the table. Didn't look at her. Didn't interrupt. Didn't even breathe differently. But the room shifted. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just enough for the judge to lean forward slightly. And take a second look. That was the moment I knew. This wasn't going the way she expected. My name is Marcus Hale. I'm 44 years old. And for most of my life, I've done work that doesn't come with recognition. No titles that impress people. No stories that make sense in casual conversations. Just long hours. Quiet responsibilities. And outcomes that speak for themselves, even when no one else does. Claire used to understand that. Back when we first met, she used to say she admired it. She'd tell people I was steady. Reliable. Grounded. But over time, those same words started sounding different. Steady became predictable. Reliable became invisible. And somewhere along the way, I stopped being someone she respected. And started becoming someone she thought she could outmaneuver. The hearing was supposed to be simple. Clean. Efficient. Divide everything. Sign the papers. Walk away. Her lawyer had been pushing for that from the beginning. And on the surface, I didn't resist. I agreed to almost everything. The house. The accounts. The savings. Even things I knew she didn't care about. I didn't argue. Didn't negotiate. Didn't question anything. And that bothered her more than anything else I could have done. Because she kept looking at me. Over and over again. Like she was waiting for something. A reaction. A challenge. A mistake. But I gave her nothing. Because by then, I already knew enough. It didn't start in that courtroom. It started months earlier. Quietly. Gradually. At first, it was just small things. Things most people would ignore. Claire started taking calls in another room. At odd hours. Always brief. Always vague. Her phone was never left unattended. Always face down. Always within reach. Her laptop, something she used to leave open all the time, was suddenly locked. Even if she stepped away for a minute. I noticed all of it. But I didn't ask. Not because I didn't care. But because I've learned something over the years. People reveal more when they think no one's watching. And I wanted to see how far this would go. Then came the finances. She told me she wanted to organize everything. Make it easier. More efficient. Better for taxes. It sounded reasonable. Normal, even. So I agreed. Gave her access. Trusted her to handle it. And that was the first real mistake I made. Because a few weeks later, things didn't feel right. Not obvious at first. Just, incomplete. Statements were missing. Transactions didn't line up. Certain records just, weren't there anymore. When I asked about it, she didn't hesitate. Clerical issues, she said. Bank errors. Nothing serious. I nodded. Let it go. But I didn't stop looking. That's when everything changed. I started checking things on my own. Quietly. Carefully. Late at night. Early mornings. Anytime she wasn't around. And the deeper I went, the more it became clear. This wasn't random. It was structured. Intentional. Planned. The moment everything truly clicked came on an ordinary night. Claire was upstairs. The house was quiet. Her phone lit up on the kitchen counter. I wasn't trying to invade her privacy. But the screen stayed on long enough for one message to appear. Everything is ready for the final step. No name. No context. Just a number. I didn't touch the phone. Didn't scroll. Didn't open anything. I just memorized the number. The next morning, I looked into it. It didn't take long to find the connection. A private advisory firm. The kind that specializes in moving things quietly. Financial restructuring. Asset protection. Strategic separation. That's when everything aligned. The missing records. The account shifts. The sudden secrecy. She wasn't organizing anything. She was preparing to erase me. But I didn't confront her. Instead, I started building something she didn't expect. A record. Every transaction I could find. Every timestamp. Every transfer. Every gap. I requested archived statements directly from the bank. Older records. Complete histories. Not summaries, details. And when they arrived, the pattern was undeniable. Money wasn't disappearing. It was being moved. Layer by layer. Account to account. Through channels designed to look unrelated. Clean. Careful. Almost perfect. But not perfect enough. Because one detail slipped through. A linked account. Not in her name. Not in mine. But connected to an early transfer. I followed it. And that's when I found the name. Adrian Cole. It took me a moment to place it. But then I remembered. A consultant tied to her legal team. He wasn't just advising her. He was helping execute the plan. Emails I recovered later confirmed it. Fragments at first. But enough. They had been working on this for months. Move the assets. Reduce visibility. Restructure ownership. Then walk into court. And make it look like I had nothing. No contribution. No leverage. No claim. I sat there staring at the evidence for a long time. Not angry. Not even surprised. Just, clear. Because when you finally see the full picture, you stop reacting emotionally. And you start thinking strategically. So I didn't confront her. I played along. Signed documents. Agreed to timelines. Acted exactly the way she expected me to. Detached. Uninvolved. Done. And the moment she believed that, she got comfortable. And when people get comfortable, they stop being careful. That's when I made my move. I requested everything. Full transaction histories. Routing paths. Linked accounts. All of it. And I reached out to someone I trusted. Not a friend. Someone better. A forensic analyst I had worked with years ago. I didn't give him names. Just showed him the structure. He studied it quietly. Then said one thing. They rushed the ending. That was all I needed. Because rushed plans leave traces. So I prepared one final step. A formal audit request. Filed quietly. But timed precisely. Not before the hearing. After. Because timing is everything. The day of the hearing. Claire looked confident. Relaxed. Certain. Like she had already won. Her lawyer presented everything cleanly. Minimal assets. Simple structure. Nothing suspicious. On paper. I had almost nothing. The judge turned to me. Do you disagree? I shook my head. No, Your Honor. That's when they relaxed. Just slightly. Then came the final question. Is there anything you'd like to add? That was the moment. The moment they expected resistance. Emotion. A reaction. I gave them none. I reached into my folder. And placed a single document on the table. Just this. The room went silent. The judge picked it up. Read it once. Then again. And his expression changed. Counsel, he said, looking at her attorney. Were you aware of this? No answer. Because they weren't. Claire leaned forward. What is that? No one responded. Because by then. It was already too late. The document laid everything out. Hidden transfers. Linked accounts. The audit request. All of it. The judge placed it down slowly. This case will not be finalized today. And just like that. Everything shifted. The aftermath was quiet. But fast. Investigations began. Accounts were flagged. Transactions traced. Connections exposed. Even Adrian didn't hold out long. People like him rarely do when pressure builds. Within weeks. Everything came back together. Every dollar. Every move. Every decision. The court didn't just revisit the case. It rewrote it. Full disclosure. Penalties. Consequences. The story she told. Didn't hold up anymore. Because numbers. Don't lie. I didn't push for more. Didn't need to. What was mine? Came back. The rest stayed where it belonged. The last time I saw Claire. Was after the final hearing. She looked different. Not angry. Not defensive. Just, tired. Like someone who finally understood. The plan didn't work. As we walked out, she said quietly. You knew, didn't you? I looked at her for a moment. Then nodded. I saw enough. And that was it. No speeches. No victory. Just the truth. Because sometimes. That's all it takes.